Tom, was that the 48 minutes you were searching for from your group?
Yeah, I thought start to finish was terrific. And also, want to congratulate the Celtics on a terrific season. Unfortunate injury to Jason Tatum, but they're a terrific organization, ownership, front office, coaching staff. Joe Mazzulla is a terrific coach, great players, first-class organization. Hats off to them for the season they had and defending their championship.
Coach, congratulations on getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Would you say tonight's performance was the best in the postseason?
Probably, and we knew we would have to play 48 minutes against them. They're terrific on both sides of the ball. They play their style no matter what. And so they're not going to hand you anything. You have to earn it, and I felt that we did that.
Tom, it seemed from the start, and then even when the league got to 30, you guys were beating the loose balls and stuff. The urgency you had talked about, was that kind of on display there all game long?
Yeah, and again, it's how you respond to the challenge that's in front of you. And so, and we can't get carried away. Obviously, it's a great win, and we advance, and, you look at that, but you also understand you have to get ready for the next series. And we know that Indiana's a terrific team, and we're going to have to be ready.
Tom, you guys obviously, through the first few games of the series, dug a bunch of holes that you had to fight back from. Today, you guys jump out to a huge lead. Just was there a difference in approach? Did you sense that the team was going to come out?
You got to win games different ways. So every game's different. Then there's really no carryover from one game to the next, other than you have to be ready to win that game that particular night and understand, what you need to do in order to do that. And I think when you understand that part of it and you understand how important your preparation is, that gives yourself the best chance to win. So you learn from each game and you try to move it forward.
Tom, Mitch had a bunch of strong defensive possessions in that game. He had one in the first half where transition closes out on Drew Holiday. Holiday ends up kicking to Brown in the corner. He takes away another three from Brown and then ends up getting the steal. What's going through your mind when you watch a guy with that length just be able to take away that many shots in a row?
He's very athletic. He anticipates well. But I thought overall our team commitment and defensive transition, guys were covering for each other. They were communicating really well, and they understood what we had to take away in order to win. And it doesn't really matter whether you're talking about defensive transition or you're talking about pick and roll defense. It has to be clean, and it has to be concise, and it has to be tied together. And so when you do that, particularly against a team that's as well versed as they are and with their ability to shoot and spread you out, you have to be very disciplined. And so I thought we were tonight.
Hey, Tom, Josh Hart, triple-double. What did you make of the way he impacted this game?
Yeah, and that's who he is. It's like he impacts the game a lot of different ways. That sometimes people get stuck on, well, he didn't shoot the ball or he didn't do this. Well, Josh, what he is a basketball player. So it's transition, it's the pace, it's playing out of the pocket, it's making corner threes, it's doing all those dribble handoff, hustle plays, offensive rebounds. And then defensively, just being everywhere and then coming up with big rebounds. Then I think when you play with that kind of effort, it's inspiring to the team.
Talk about some of the next steps for this franchise, getting to the conference after the second round, getting to that conference finals. How satisfactory is it to get there now for you?
Well, and I think the way you have to look at it is whatever your ceiling is, or that's what you're striving for, and you're trying to go past whatever the expectations are for you. And if everyone commits to that, the challenge is to bring the best out of everybody. And so the goal is always to win a championship. And so we've got 8 wins, you need 16. Right? And each one gets harder and harder. So you got to keep fighting, and you got to understand how important that is.
Tom, any early thoughts on Indiana and the problems that they pose and how they play and just the matchup in
Yeah,
general?
and again, style of play, and they're an excellent basketball team, strong on both sides of the ball. Their ability to push the ball, so defensive transition. But when you look at their guard play, particularly with Halliburton, and Nemhart and McConnell, and they can push and they can break you down off the dribble. So you got to be very disciplined in your approach. They can spread you out. Siakam and Turner are very talented bigs. So we understand what the challenge is.
Coach, you talk about.
Guys, play nice.
Different moments during the game. Can you go back to that second quarter when you guys went on that long run, the end of the first quarter going into the second quarter? What did you see that the team really executed there?
Well, I think, there's always going to be a lot of runs in every game. And I think when you're playing a team that shoots the volume threes that they do, there's a variance in the game. There could be swings that's very, very quickly both ways. And so you have to understand, the discipline that you need. And then I felt like we were able to get stops, which got us into the open floor. And then we got some easy baskets, and that fueled our offense. And so I think being strong on both sides of the ball and then making good rim reads, making good decisions when we got in there, I thought that was important as well.
Cat seemed to come out with a different mindset tonight, offensively and defensively. What did you see in him tonight?
Yeah, I thought that helped set the tone for the game. I thought super aggressive to start off the game, got established, in the paint, and then the rebounding, and his pick and roll defense was outstanding. So I think that, we have to play off that, but it gives us another threat. I thought we had a really balanced attack. I thought OG and McHale were phenomenal, right, and with the defensive pressure that they were applying.
Coach, coming into the playoffs, there's a lot of talk about Cleveland and Boston, who are ahead of you coming out of the East. Not only have you advanced, but you're now the home team. How much is that going to help in the next round?
Well, I think the important thing is to understand what goes into winning, and it starts with your preparation. So I think understanding we have to know Indiana extremely well, and then just concentrate on being ready for that first game. In the playoffs, you have to earn your wins. They're not going to be given to you because you're home or you're road. You have to earn them with your play. And so I think that's the most important thing, is understanding what goes into your preparation.
This defensive strategy that you generally had throughout the series, especially like switching more on ball screens than you had throughout the regular season, when did you know you were going to do that against the Celtics? Like when you're playing them in the regular season, are you thinking about doing that in the playoffs?
You're getting more and more information, and then there's bigs that you go into the season with a plan for switching. Like you're going to switch in certain situations, and there were guys we weren't switching with. But then you also have to read the ball in the game. So sometimes maybe you're not in a particular switching group, but there's penetration and there's a problem. So that you have to recognize there's a problem. You got to take care of the ball, right? So that would put you into a switching situation. And so there's a lot that you do. You have to be good at your coverages. You have to be good at switching. You have to be good at blitzing. And then you have to be good at finishing your defense, because anytime you put two on the ball, or the other thing is when you're switching and you got a big on a small, you're going to be vulnerable to being out rebounded unless you make the commitment to get back to bodies. And so there's a lot of discipline that goes into it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm talking about my mic knives. I want to eat that, bro.
Are they ready? This is for either any of you or all four of you. Obviously, you guys are the first group to do something that no Knicks team has done in 25 years. I know you guys play to win championships, but could you feel how important a win like this was in this building to the people that have been here longer than you guys have and that ride?
Yeah, it was definitely felt the energy. The way they've been supporting us all year, it's been remarkable. So I'm just really happy that we were able to do that.
Not this year, not just next year.
Mhm.
Big picture.
Big picture.
Yes, sir. Get there.
Kat, you came out aggressive. How important was it to set the tone today, and how much of that was a concerted effort for you to come out and do that?
I mean, just we talked about the importance of this game, and my teammates trusted me in those positions to score, and I'm glad I was able to repay their trust with some buckets. So it's a really testament to my teammates, get me involved and allow me to be aggressive, and it's because of these guys up here that we got the win.
Jalen, I know you guys as a whole somewhat were not pleased with the intensity levels and everything that happened in Game 5, and then tonight it just seemed like it was the exact opposite sort of energy from you guys. Where do you feel like that came from? Why do you feel like it was such an obvious swing?
Just the way the whole day of Game 5 just wasn't us. And we knew that. We reflected on it, and we came back. We knew that we needed to be ready, needed to be better. The way we prepared, the way we talked out there, the way we made it an emphasis to have each other's back and continue to cover for each other. It's focused on the defensive side of the ball. And when we're doing that, I mean, offense, I mean, we're flowing. And so we just got to focus on the little things, and we did that.
Fernie, I guess, Miguel, you're closest. So, you guys all had such, like college success. You won quickly. You went to the finals. Can you just imagine how long, what it must feel like for a fan base to go 25 years like this one has without making a conference final and seeing the scenes outside? I don't know if you have how much this must mean.
Yeah, I think Josh showed me a video walking here, guys climbing up light poles and stuff. So, yeah, it's crazy, man. But great for them, happy for them. Obviously I'm new here, but just know how much New York loves their sports, and especially the Knicks. So, just so excited to be a part of it. And I mean, they enjoy it for us right now, but obviously we got way more to go. But happy for them.
I guess also for any of you, I know you talk about looking at the videos of what the fans are like outside, but it didn't look like a crazy celebration for you guys on the court today. Is that because this is a part of like a stepping stone, or?
Yeah, we just more to go. We're not done. That's what it is. And we came out there tonight and play hard, handle business. But like I said, our season's not over. We got so much more to go, and I think we play on Wednesday, so get ready, prepare for them. Whole different team, and just a whole new series.
Hey, Josh, just for you, I know you've talked a lot about you guys coming out with good energy, bad energy, and what was the difference from your perspective tonight?
I feel like we just watched the film, and I think we were kind of discussing with our communication, our effort, our sense of urgency to start the game. So that's something that we knew we had to fix. We were able to get stops. We were able to communicate better in transition, and then get out there and play fast and have fun. And I think that was the biggest thing that we just focused on, was just our communication and defensive transition.
The series started, you guys were a pretty heavy underdog. Do you feel like this is an upset? And what is, I guess, to beat the defending champs, to send them home, what does this do confidence-wise for you guys moving forward?
I mean, upset or not, whatever it is, we beat a great team. They obviously lost a huge piece, but regardless, the way they came out in Game 5, they knew that, I mean, they're still a great team. And so regardless of whatever anyone thinks, upset or not, I mean, we're just happy to come out the series with the win, and we're moving on. We got to prepare for another team.
You guys have all said at one point or another through this playoff run that you guys didn't think that you played your best basketball yet in the playoffs. Just was today the best basketball that you guys feel like you've played in this entire playoff run? And if so, do you think that this is something that's replicable, that you can take to the next series and repeat what you guys have been able to do tonight?
I mean, I feel like we played 48 minutes tonight, and just the way we competed and communicated out there, it's definitely one of our better performances. but I still feel like we have a long way to go. Just the confidence we have in each other and everything, and just knowing where we are, we're going to continue to be unsatisfied.
For Josh and Jalen, you guys were here last year. Tough loss to Indiana in the second round, 7 games. Just what I know you guys were pretty banged up in that series too, but just what do you think of that team going into meeting them a second year in a row?
Yeah, man, it's going to be a tough opponent. They push the pace. They run on makes, misses, and it's going to be a huge communication series for us. We're going to have to be locked in on every possession. We're going to have to get back defensively. We can build off this game. I feel like our defensive transition, our communication was great today, and that's something that we can carry into that series. But different team, and we just got to make sure we're prepared.
Josh, you guys closed out the first quarter very strong, and that led into the second quarter. Can you talk about what was really the key for you guys to get that run? And then also, you had a turnover where you threw behind Mikal. Did Mitch come after you and say, "Why don't you throw him the lob"?
Nah, Mitch ain't say nothing. I knew Mitch can't jump off 1 foot, so I didn't want to put him in that position. It's not like young Mitch where he was like super athletic. It's a little older Mitch. Yeah. But for us, biggest thing we got to end quarters right, and I feel like that's something that we did, and we were able to pick it up in that second, get stops, run, and play Knick basketball. Everyone played well, everyone talked, everyone communicated, made plays offensively and defensively. So that's something that we preach all the time, is ending quarters strong, and hopefully Mitch finds a little more athleticism next time I got him.
Kat, I'm curious if you, during this 6-game series, if you feel like you learned anything about the group that you guys have, maybe something you wanted to see from the group that maybe it confirmed, or something that presented itself that you didn't expect during the series.
I wouldn't say not expect, but when you're in these situations, especially in the playoffs, we talk about that, that New York grit, that unrelentless belief that we will never lose. And I think that this series, when you want to go deeper into the playoffs, you have to have that, and we showed it this series. And I think that was really special for us. In the last series, we showed, we're able to finish games in the fourth quarter, and even the close games we'll find a way to win. But this series was different because we had ourselves in deficits that were 20 plus, and we still found a way to win. And that's a testament to these guys. Never not believing that we're going to win a game, regardless of how the game is going, and regardless of the ebbs and flows of a playoff series or a game. This team has tremendous belief in each other, and we believe that anytime we step on the court, we have a chance to win.
This is for whoever. I know the job's not done, but the hurdle that at least we were talking about in the media from the beginning was, after consecutive years, getting the second round to get into the conference finals. So how much personal satisfaction is it from you guys, if at all, to get to that point and clear that hurdle?
We're not the media. We don't believe in what y'all believe in. We believe in each other. We know we could do something special. And as long as the belief in that locker room is that, we don't care what anyone outside that locker room says.
Guys, since you're about the same age, I wonder who was the best at basketball when the Knicks last made the conference finals between you four.
I'm the oldest now.
Josh is the oldest for sure.
Hey, Bet. Shout out Bet. Hey, Bet.
What was the question? Sorry.
Who's the best at basketball between you four when the Knicks last made the conference finals?
I mean, I'm just.
We were like, who? How old are you, 29? Probably me. I was the oldest. I'm the tallest, bro. What you mean? Probably me. It had to be me. Nah, bro.